Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today I've got a game for you between Ang1eton as our Africa Corps, and his opponent today is going to be Blobbing Master as our US. And no, I do not speak Korean. I use Google Translate. I've had a couple folks ask me if I speak it or can read it, and the answer is absolutely not. But Google does a great job of making me look smart. So map today is going to be Angville Farms, and I think we all know this map fairly well. That frontline fuel leads to a necessity to keep your units out and on the map and active throughout the game, otherwise you risk falling behind in fuel. And it leads to games where I think aggression is favored. And this map in particular I think really rewards folks that can multitask well, right? So, we are seeing a double scout into rifleman opening for our US player. So, gonna have a mix of capturing power and fighting power here, and fortunately not gonna see the MG spam today. Africa Corps player going for a reasonable opening as well. Motorbike for that early capture power, and Panzer Grenadiers after. Has locked in the Panzerjäger command. We may see an early 250 here from our Africa Corps player. He knows that his opponent has gone rifles, and therefore won't have access to any bazookas. So that's going to make the 250 extra good, but it is going to be more Panzer Grenadiers here. And Africa Corps ahead on fuel, I would say, at least fuel control. No real surprise there, getting out early with that motorbike, keeping those units distracted on the left side. And meanwhile, these Panzer Pioneers have been able to grab up some territory. These riflemen going to put a quick stop to that while he's grabbing fuel of his own on that left side. And some early grenades for our US player. Suspect he's recognizing that he is weak against the 250 and is going to need some early anti-vehicle. And grenades are a fine way to do that. That said, has literally 0 munitions income right now. So even though he's going to have grenades here, isn't going to be able to use them. So, early retreat from those riflemen. Panzer Pioneers blobbed up here a little bit. Moving out, going to grab up some territory. Motorbike going for this cutoff point here. Going to deny his opponent the resources on the left side. Love to see that. Panzer Pioneers. So I like this. You know, I think a lot of players, you know, we love to hate on blobbers, right, as a community. But having your units together in an area and microing them independently is a good way to improve your own game at home, right? And we're seeing that here, right? He's got his units in the same area, but he's having them do different things. And I suspect we're going to see him microing in that way all game long. And that, you know, there are some multitasking gods out there that use the minimap or just can be everywhere on the map at once. And if you're not one of those players, this is a decent way to elevate your game. The motorbike's still alive on this left side, scuffling with these scouts. More scouts coming, though, so this motorbike's going to have to leave. 250 finding an early grenade, going to go down here. And that's a pretty unfortunate loss for our Panzer, for our Africa Corps player. And yeah, our US player has managed to consolidate his territory a little bit here, so he's definitely got the munitions income, can throw one of those grenades every minute here. And our German player is going to lose fuel coverage here as the units move into his cutoff point there. Breaching here from the rifleman. Panzer Grenadiers going to bust out of the house and just simply switch houses here, but more riflemen on the area, going to be obnoxious to deal with. And going to breach again here. Does he see it? He does. And that is pretty darn hilarious there. Double breaching action. Going to remove these guys from the territory. But wow, that is a red map. Kettenkrad ought to do okay, though. Should be able to grab up a bunch of territory relatively quickly. You see engineers added on for our U.S. player. I suspect we're going to see Captain next, potentially. We're going to see some sort of support center next, I suspect. And the reason I'm saying that, it's going to be infantry support. The reason I'm saying that is because an engineer this early, right, you're not going to see... What I'm trying to say here is an early engineer is a good option for that map coverage, and it makes me think that we're going to see him do a motor pool next. Another breaching action there by those riflemen. Nicely spotted by Ang1eton there. Gonna bust out of the house. Now, we did see him adding his own tier 1. So we could be seeing some assault grenadiers, potentially. This is a little bit of an unusual build for our Africa Corps player. I feel like a lot of folks, you know, if they're going to go mainline infantry, they typically go for... You typically see those players go for something like Burses instead of Panzer Grenadiers. But Panzer Grenadiers in the late game with their LMGs can do just fine. Assault Grenadiers added on, and we do have the mechanized version, so he's going to be able to get aggressive with that unit. Does need to continue to be careful of anti-tank options from his opponent, and I think we're going to see a motor pool, but more riflemen instead. Okay. Africa Corps player doing a great job getting back out on the map here after being pushed way, way back. This player not quite able to convert that lead into anything just yet. You see riflemen all over the place. Panzer Pioneer's going to have to give up the position there. And it's going to drive his opponent back. This is interesting from our U.S. player. We see him consistently retreating early there. And he did add on a medical station there, so going to be able to get his units back up to full health. Now, I do think that casualty collection is currently bugged. By the time this video comes out, it may already be fixed. We'll see. But I was talking with Olvadi in the tournament yesterday, and oh my god, I did not ask him how to pronounce his name again. Ugh, I'm going to have to do that next month. But in any case, I need to ask him. He was saying that the that casualty reinforcement or casualty collection from medical stations for all factions is currently broken. Oh my god, that was a devastating grenade in the retreat path. The assault grenadiers in trouble though. Should make it out, barely. Riflemen are chasing. They have decent firing on the move, but assault grenadier are going to manage to get out of there. And a little bit of a checkerboard map here as both players grab up territory. Panzer Grenadiers on a bad retreat path, but retreating early should be totally fine there. Scouts getting aggressive, going to grab up this guaranteed fuel. And we do see some players. Saw a grenade in the retreat path, not quite connecting. But our players are going to come out even here. So... yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen a motor pool yet. Has a decent amount of fuel. I'm curious what he wants to do with it. So while our US player debates his next move, what if we're going to see bars? Be a little bit strange this late, but I'll stop speculating. We'll let him show us what he wants to do here. And it is going to be a motor pool just a little bit later. Second engineer, interesting. So he's got flamethrower engineers and minesweeping engineers. Very interesting. Those scouts in trouble here. Getting marked by the bike, making them way easier to hit, even on the retreat there. And he's going to clean them up with those assault grenadiers. That's pretty nice for our Africa Corps player. He's going to be feeling good about that. Scouts, of course, you know, not the end-all, be-all. But any units that our German player can pick up are going to matter a whole heck of a lot. And this captain would matter a bit more. Man, that bike assault grenadier combo is ferocious. And these Panzer Grenadiers in the retreat going to do some serious damage here. I do think the captain's going to get away. And that was a nice try by our German player, but not quite able to get that happening. Panzer Grenadiers bailing out of the truck. Closing the gap there a little bit. Flamethrower engineers trying to help out. And a favorable fight for our German, I would say. Smoke getting popped to isolate some of these units, and those engineers do not want to be there too much longer. But the motor pool is finished. And US player bleeding some manpower here, so can't get out a Greyhound just yet. And I do think it's going to be a Greyhound, if anything. I suppose it could be an AT gun if he wants to save up for a tank depot. But I'm not sure how I feel about that, and it's a Flakverling for our Africa Corps player next. We're seeing fights all over the map here. Assault Grenadier's going to scoot out of there. And despite controlling that space for a while there, German player did not manage to control the fuel. It's a dead 250. Yep. Oh, on bike. Oh, and the bike's going to live. That's big. The longer that bike goes, the better it gets. If you can keep it alive. But, man, it just feels like our Africa Corps player has just not really cared about grabbing territory and has instead just been very focused on fighting. To the detriment of his income, I would say. And clearly doing a lot here. As players, units all over the map. Assault Grenadier is going to eat a grenade on their way out. Should make it, though. Despite our US player's best effort there. Flakverling not out on the field yet. And we did see the engineer minesweepers go down. Not sure when that happened, but another good pickup. And it's going to be a Chaffee here for a US player. So this Flakverling going to have a real bad time in the face of the Chaffee. The good news for our German player is that he has the Panzerjägers. Can go up to Tank Busters. Is he doing that? He is. The Tank Buster is going to do pretty darn well against the Chaffee. But if the Chaffee manages to use its superior mobility to get something done, that Flakverling could be in deep trouble. Panzer Pioneers just duking it out with these Flamethrower Engineers. 250 going to have to back away. US player going to take this territory. Nicely done. Panzer Grenadiers going to try and help out, but they're a little bit too late there. Scouts grabbing the fuel and Riflemen grabbing the cutoff. Assault Grenadiers going to put a stop to the capture, though. And might see a breach here? Question mark? Nope. This player just going to get out of that house. Chaffee revealing itself here, unfortunately. So I say unfortunately because he probably wanted this to be a surprise. Sneak up on his opponent when the Flakverling's out of position. But now that it is revealed, he's just going to use it for anti-infantry. And there's nothing wrong with that. Those anti-tank vehicles are pretty decent at infantry overall. And if they're not doing anything else and you got the APM to spare, I think that's a fine use of your vehicles. Motorbike going to grab some territory on that left side. And yeah. Chaffee going to just chase everyone down here. Panzerjäger grabbing fuel. And this is a good decision by him, right? He wants to keep his Panzerjäger next to the Flakverling. Keep it alive. So, no surprise there. This player, what did we just see him adding on there? Munition surplus. Okay, so cheaper grenades. We've also got the advanced logistics. So maintaining this army is going to be a bit easier for him. I think that's a good decision with 4 riflemen. That maintenance cost can really add up over the course of the game, and any discounts you can get are going to feel pretty good. Riflemen hiding in the hedgerow here. Gonna find some units as they walk past. But everybody's just gonna bail on out. And our Africa Corps player is gonna continue to control the territory. US player has managed to bleed his opponent down to 300 victory points. So still anybody's game, of course. But US player has done a better job overall. Black half-track getting aggressive. Panzerjäger's in the 250, maybe wanting to charge this Chaffee. Is going to try. Nope. just covering for the flak there and is going to get this cutoff point. That's going to feel really good. And nicely done there. So what is next? Oh, he got, what did he get here? Support elements, obviously. He's got veteran squad leaders. And for those of you that don't know what this does, 25% vet gain, less incoming damage, and it does increase those Panzer Grenadier squad sizes. I'm not sure how I feel about that last one. I think there's some interesting debate around the topic, which I won't get into here. But suffice to say, the damage isn't huge in difference, especially after they have their heavy machine guns. Or, excuse me, light machine guns. It is going to be Bars next for our US player. Bars going to do really good things for him against these Panzer Grenadiers. But the Panzer Grenadier is going to be a little bit harder to kill. I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen how much... Yeah, he's hurting for munitions here. What has he been spending that on? I mean, he spent a little bit on tank busters. Are we seeing mines go down? Not sure. His munitions are going somewhere, and I'm not sure what it is. I will say that he's been struggling to control munitions in general. So that could be part of the problem, but 15 minutes in, I'd expect him to be able to get some LMGs out. It's probably a mix of grenades, I would imagine. And the German player just going to give up this side, can easily move his bike to that left side, grab some territory. Seeing the 250 help out with that now. Yeah, and overall, I'd say things looking pretty decent for our U.S. player. Does have the M1AT gun now, so has a reasonable answer outside of the Chaffee to these light vehicles that he's facing. More assault grenadiers called in. And yeah, I'm liking. I mean, this game is going to come down to a pretty significant skill matchup, right? I think assault grenadiers into riflemen is a lot about positioning and like making the most of your passives, right? So those assault grens closing the gap in the 250, grenades coming down on the 250 to slow it down. Black half track avoiding damage at long range. So it's going to be a knife edge here for our players. And we'll see who prevails. Now, big push here. Combined arms approach. And moving all his units on a couple different hotkeys. Like I said, I mean, this player is... I like seeing this from high-level players because it gives me faith that some of... there's nothing necessarily wrong with grouping up your units. Now, I would call this a blob, and if I was against this, I'd be annoyed, and I would build a heavy machine gun. Actually, I really do think he should build a heavy machine gun. But he's probably worried about us all calling him a spammer. But it's going to meet force with force here. Heavy machine or AT gun going down there. Flak now in position. Chaffee going to clean up the 250. Engineers with minesweepers barely going to escape. Did see some riflemen go down there. I'm not sure when that happened. But Flak absolutely shredding here. Grenade coming down on the AT gun. And unfortunately for our US player, can't mount up here. Where are those Panzer Jaeger are dead? They died. Did they die in the half track? I think that they did. That's pretty devastating. So both players going to trade out some units. Does look like our US player is going to be able to get his hands on the AT gun there. Flak's still doing its thing. Assault Grenadiers doing some work here. Got 3 already on this guy. Those riflemen actually holding their own. Smoke subsiding now. Going to let the vehicles from our DAC player help out there. So decent fight for our German player. I mean, the whole time he got quick control of the fuel. We see him capturing the victory point there. So overall, looking pretty good for him. I do suspect we're going to see this bike fly over to that left side, maybe grab some of that fuel. U.S. player already moving out again, though. It looks like he's going to try and pick up the fuel down here. He's going to find this bike. AT grenade is going to happen. Do think the bike's going to live, though. It's not. Okay. Wow. That was a good pickup there, and there are some German mines here as suspected. I just couldn't see them. And there they are. Minesweepers on the scene, though. It's going to be able to capture that fuel, so going to be an even map state here in relatively short order. And what's the fuel situation? Still pretty low for our US. I mean, we've seen him investing heavily in his infantry. He's even got survival training, giving all of his units 10 extra health per model, which is freaking huge. Chaffee helping out against the infantry. Already veteran C1. Well, already. It's been a while, but he is veteran C1. That's going to feel pretty good. Black going to help out here at long range, and I've been a little bit too zoomed in this whole time. Whoops. It's okay, now you guys can see more of the action. Yeah, so... Oh, we're seeing an elephant. Is he going to call that in? He did call it in. Why? Alright, well, I shouldn't complain because I've been asking to see an elephant for ages. So very happy to see this. By the way, this is live from the ladder, and I have not pre-screened this game. So I'm so happy to see this elephant. Let's go. Alright, I need a thumbnail, so let's hope this elephant does really well here. Yeah, so an elephant in this situation feels a little strange to me. I mean, literally the only vehicle he's up against is a Chaffee. And this feels like a little bit of overkill for a Chaffee. But before we saw this elephant come out, I was over here thinking that it'd be cool to see some Shermans here. I do think our US player is well positioned for that, especially considering how decent his fuel control has been overall. I mean, he's been able to get some top-tier infantry, and now if he can translate that into any sort of vehicle presence, I think that's going to be really good. Assault Gren's being forced to retreat across the map. This elephant going to be found out by these engineers on a whim. Those are the minesweeping engineers, but they had their minesweeper disabled. Elephant not on attack infantry mode, no surprise there. I don't actually know how this thing does against infantry. I imagine it's pretty freaking terrible. But we'll find out here shortly. Well, maybe. Love to find out. That's what I meant to say. Panzer Pioneers holding it down. Pretty even map state. German player going to walk away with 2 of the victory points here. And the game's still very even. Both players very nearly at 250 halfway through. This game may well go the distance. Yeah, it's something else I was thinking before we saw the elephant on the map was that our German player needed some anti-infantry, and I was thinking to myself, Panzerjäger being added back on could be pretty decent. But he just way overkilled it with an elephant. And I feel like spammed Chaffee could actually absolutely own this elephant, so it's a very strange decision here. German player continuing to ignore the victory points a little bit here. Chaffee going into the base might be able to get his hands on the ambulance. Ambulance running for his life, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to get away there. He's going to hide. But here, the Chaffee on the hunt. And ultimately, this is only a little bit of manpower. AT grenades, potentially. We're going to see a couple. Elephant's coming back. Damaged engine Chaffee. I don't know what this thing's range is. It's pretty large, but I don't think it's that large. That might be a dead Chaffee. Greeting for the ambulance, potentially. Assault Grenadiers behind, continuing to spot for the elephant. And take the shot, sir. Losing the angle as the Chaffee disappears behind the house there, behind the wall. And is going to find him. 1,000 penetration, doing some serious work there. And a Pershing. Oh my god, I was so obsessed with that elephant getting a kill that I missed our US player going for Pershing here. And I should have guessed. He hadn't locked in his battle group last time I looked. So I guess not that unusual, but this Pershing gonna do some serious lifting here, and I would say it's a very, very good answer to the Elephant. Again, mobility being this Elephant's primary issue. But if you can keep it near infantry, keep it hidden, get some ambushes going, then Pershing's gonna have to be pretty darn careful. You see this M1 supporting this push, repositioning at the worst time there. Pershing looking for trouble. I don't know if our German player knows about it. Again, he does have those sound cues, right? You can hear this unit in the fog of war and does have visual confirmation now. And we should see the Elephant move up here a little bit. But those Panzer Grenadiers going to get out of there. And you know, so this is where their Panzer Grenadiers, I feel like, are starting to hit their stride, right? They've been upgraded with the six models. They have the light machine gun. They're veteran C2. Has he invested anything else in them? I don't think so. Yeah, just the usual. But they've got their defensive positions buff from this battle group, so when they're in heavy cover, or in cover in general, they benefit as if they were nearby vehicles. And with a vehicle-light army, that can be pretty good. So, nice to see a build come together here. Pershing gonna chase these assault grens back into base. They are vet 3. Should do okay here despite how vicious the Pershing is. And Pershing gonna respect this Elephant. Now, I'd love to see this Elephant crush these hedgerows here. Potentially really open this map up for himself. The Elephant's strength is being far away, and hedgerows make it so you have to be close, and that's definitely not what you want. A vehicle like this. Do see mechanized company on the way for our German player. And his fuel income not anywhere near enough to support something like a Tiger at this stage. But we've seen him be patient throughout this game, so might see him save up for that. And that'd be crazy to see 2 heavy tanks in a single game. 2 heavy tanks from our Africa Corps player in a single game. I feel like that's only reserved for team games. Panzer Grenadiers managing to escape the grenade there. Black helping out. Pershing looking on. Can't move in here. Does know about this Elephant. Elephant might get a shot there. Nice. Getting a side armor hit. And it actually does not matter where this Elephant strikes the Pershing. If the shot hits, it's going through the armor. That's what 1,000 penetration buys you. And German player moving to secure a large percentage of map control here. Could probably get both victory points, but we've seen him already demonstrate that he's a lot of times more interested in fighting, but is going to do that now. Going to find a mine, though, which I did not see, but happy I caught on camera. And another big push here from our US player, M1 helping out against the Flak. Flak having to move away. Hence Pioneers did manage to finish the decapture, but the Scout's going to get that territory back real quick there. With that, I mess with my camera there. Yeah, so they get that 50% capture speed at Vet 2 on top of what they already have. And, yeah, can capture very, very quickly. Already captured there. Heavy machine gun on the way for our US player. I think that's a really good decision. He just needs a little bit of crowd control. It's, I mean, the heavy machine gun for the US is technically the worst in both damage and suppression damage. But even a little bit against the blobs that we've been seeing is going to be pretty good. And he's going to go for multiple. So wants to support his already strong force with more infantry in the form of heavy machine guns. Where Probably just going to see him sit on Pershing tech. Not going to go up to anything like Sherman's, I wouldn't imagine. And, you know, saying that out loud, Elefant can be a pretty big deterrent there, but vehicle swarms could easily own this Elefant. Finally crushing some hedgerows there, but unintentionally, I do believe. Just rotating sides of the map there. That's going to create a nice little channel for him to move quickly between the sides of the map. Something I feel like... So I cast Company of Heroes 2 like a couple years ago. And something I loved watching in that game was players shaping the map to their will. So you'd see players putting demo charges to remove hedgerows early, you know, throwing down sandbags and other blockers and barbed wire just to make their opponent's lives really annoying. I feel like that's missing a little bit from this game. Now this Elefant getting super aggressive here. Should find one shot. Not going to happen, losing sight there. And very, very aggressive with that Elefant. Definitely not something he wants to be doing. Would love to see this Elefant sit near the crossroads with all the hedges removed, but of course we're not going to see that happen. Black removing the rifleman from the area. And Assault Grenadiers trying to shut down this push on the left side. Is going to succeed, but Pershing's going to punish. Elefant moving down now. ET gun dealing with the flak there. And I don't think that's a place he wants to be. Is going to bail out now. And Pershing going to chase into base here. We'll see if this gets punished this time around. There are Panzer Grenadiers. Ambulance not in a good spot here. Panzer Grenadiers turning around. Assault Grenadiers going to go down. Not targeting that unit. So is going to escape there barely with all of his units. And Pershing continuing to be obnoxious. Elefant almost on the scene. Rifleman behind the Elefant, so could move in here to be obnoxious. Pershing now targeting the heavy machine gun. But is going to get out of there with that Pershing at the last possible second. And what a nice little distraction there by our US player. Bringing his opponent back to base and then leaving those units in the lurch. Very nice. Captain going to grab this point. Victory point's still extremely even. And these heavy machine guns now upgraded to 50 cals. So those are going to be rough to deal with their increased suppression and damage. It's going to really help him control these blobs. And another M1 on the way. I think he's wanting more answers to this flak. Panzer Command on the way now. I don't know why I thought he'd already added that on. Looks like he went mechanized. I don't think he added anything from mechanized, though. Maybe he had a plan there and just changed his mind. But Panzer Company on the way. Does already have that rapid advance and emergency repair kits, so can literally capture territory with this Elefant if he wants to. US player nearing pop cap here, 89. Another heavy machine gun going to be the choice. Actually, we saw him stop doing the AT gun and add on a rifleman instead, so up to 5 riflemen here. And this is what decent unit preservation buys you in the late game, in combination with the advanced logistics and survival training. Lets you get up to these ridiculous infantry army compositions. And man, this feels like a pre-Opal Scorpion patch type game with the stall for Pershing and the heavy emphasis on infantry. It's been a while since I've seen this much dedication to a build like this. An Elefant clearing some more territory. Love to see it. Please run over this hedge. Give yourself as much vision as you can. And it's going to be infantry armored reserves here. Still a light year away from tanks, from Elefant. God, what's the big tank called? Oh yeah, a Tiger. Yeah, still light years away from Tigers. But certainly around the corner if this game continues on. It's been a slow bleed this whole time. And it looks like a butterfly bomb being dropped in the choke point on that right side. We could see our German player shift left in a big way after dropping those butterfly bombs. It's going to make it difficult for his opponent to get in there. Elefant finding a shot on the Pershing there. And going to get another one as well. And this guy's already up to Veteran C1. So 10% rotation rate is going to matter a lot in the event that he gets dove. That 25% rate of fire could be massive here shortly. Assault Grenadiers, looks like he's grenading himself there a little bit. Elefant way out of position, actually going to get some engine damage here. Pershing not in a position to chase. M1's not on the scene either. So this Elefant's going to limp away at the speed of snail. Black half-track fighting these heavy machine guns on this side, but AT gun has his number. Is going to see it there. Gets out just in time. Assault Grenadiers trying to hold the line here. Pershing getting aggressive, recognizing this engine damage. More AT grenades coming down. That's a dead Elefant. Oh, Pershing didn't continue the rotation, though. One more shot. Attack ground. Nope. But is going to keep his Elefant alive. I say that dealing with a push here, but is going to remove everything with the flak perling. And what a nice little save there. I thought that was absolutely a dead Elefant there, but managed to save him. So well done. And let's take a quick look at our US player's tree here. He's got exchangeable parts. I'm a little surprised he didn't go for strong points. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing here. Yeah, I'm a little surprised he didn't go for strong points in combination with bolstered team weapons and maybe even Galleon stand. Like, he's leaning so hard into team weapons that he could just lean a little bit further and get some pretty major benefits. The strong points being, you know, just needing to invest a single half-track. Doesn't even have to micro it that much. But I digress. He is doing his own thing here. Panzer Grenadier is going to move into this right side. Let me switch back to tournament mode there. Those butterfly bombs still in place? I think that they are. Yeah, they're still there. Hard for me to see without zooming in. Rifleman going to get driven back there. An Elefant looking for trouble. Engine damage repaired. Seemingly hunting Pershing. Pershing reacting. Rifleman not interested in more AT grenades. And action happening everywhere right now. Panzer Grenadiers absolutely shredding those Vet 2 riflemen. Well done there. 22 kills on that unit. 28 on this guy. Vet 3, pretty darn scary. So they get that harder to hit, better accuracy. I mean, it just makes them better all-rounders, right? Ooh, butterfly mines paying dividends here. Pershing going to come up, maybe roll over those hedgerows. I actually don't think our US player does not want to destroy these hedgerows, lest he face the wrath of the Elefant. Black getting aggressive here, trying to protect the Elefant. He's going to eat a couple AT grenades. Pershing getting aggressive, going to find the barrel of the Elefant. But another AT grenade here might damage engine, not going to happen. Pershing going after the flak. Might find him as well. Attack ground going to happen for both players here. Potentially, nope. Just going to pop smoke and then lose the flak. Elefant trying to chase. But of course that's not going to work out. And a unfortunate loss for our German. Not an easily replaced unit because he's wanting to go for Tigers, I think, here. Could see him go for a P4 potentially, but I don't think that that would be a great choice in the face of this Pershing. Down to 100 points here, so German player's got to get active. We see him doing that now. He's going to find some heavy machine guns and AT guns on that side, and doesn't have a super great way to deal with them. Fortunately for him, Panzer Grenadiers doing work here. Going to push all these units back. And is going to come away with 2 victory points and some fuel for his trouble. And a demo charge there. I wonder, that's visible, right? No, it's a hidden demo charge. Alrighty. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. There's like a 90% chance I miss it, and it is going to be a P4. So I like this P4 for dealing with the heavy machine guns and the infantry in general. Especially because he doesn't have time to save for a Tiger. At least that's my read on his thinking. But the major problem is this unit really can't fight the Pershing. Even with infantry support, it's still going to be really tough. So what I'm telling you is that this unit is going to have to stay close to the Elephant, which lessens its strength overall. Now, a unit went down there, and I missed it on the left side. I want to say it was the AT gun. It was. So no big deal there. Elephant out of position once again. Is going to rotate. Panzer Grenadiers running for their lives here. Might go down. Oh, nice pickup. That's a very important pickup by that Pershing. Basically irreplaceable, that veterancy at this stage. Elephant hitting Vet 2, though. So he's going to have that increased rate of fire. Is looking for the Pershing here. Elephant totally unafraid of anything his opponent has to offer. Should see the Pershing here. One shot. Oh, he's got it on free fire there. So firing at the heavy machine gun instead. And Elephant not going to get anything down there and going to back away. Panzer III. We did see the demolition charge there go off. I don't think it wiped anything. And we did see a satchel charge from those engineers trying to deal with the P4. But the Panzer IV able to survive that by moving away. And yeah. Triple Assault Grenadier to try and deal with this ridiculous army composition from our US player. I think it's okay. I mean, they carry their own utility, right? Oh, that's a dead Panzer IV. Surely popping smoke. Attack round might miss. Is going to miss. Panzer IV backing away. Riflemen do have an angle. Might see an AT grenade go down. Pershing missing its second attack round through the smoke. Assault Grenadiers absolutely going to shred those Riflemen. And Riflemen not connecting with the Panzer IV. Here comes the Elephant. Pershing unafraid. There is smoke there. It's going to dissipate now. Elephant going to have a shot. And might get two with that increased rate of fire. Assault Grenadiers trying to fight. And he is going to get the Pershing. Now, good news for our U.S. player. He's got 1 million fuel, literally 500. That's going to feel pretty good. But has to wait 3 minutes to replace that Pershing. So now there's a pretty serious opportunity for our German player to get back in this game. And he's building a freaking recovery truck here, so he might be going for this Pershing. I don't know how much fuel that costs. I can check, though. Switch over to this view. So it'd be 90 fuel to restore it. That's doable. But losing that P4 is not going to feel super great. Placing the Panzer IV would only cost 45 fuel. A little bit more doable in his current state, I would say. Our German player, that is. And a triple cap coming down, though. 50 points to go. Can this recovery vehicle get on the scene fast enough? Capturing fuel with the Elephant, that's not something you see every day. Panzer Grenadier is going to slow the bleeding here, but not going to stop it. And this vehicle, oh, he's going to repair the flak. And the Rifleman coming in for an AT grenade. Shouldn't destroy the truck there, but is going to destroy the wreck. Grenade going to kill it. Nicely done. Wow. That's pretty devastating. It's not every day that you say a recovery half-track going down is the end of the game, but I do think that in this particular game that is going to be the case. AT gun setting up on the Elephant. Well, kind of. Just going to walk away. Rifleman looking for an AT grenade. Not going to find it. Wasn't looking that hard, I guess. And that triple cap. Wow, what a silly little game this has been. I mean, I love different builds. And it was definitely a different build from our German player, and it was just, I don't know, it was very fun to see him use that. So, wow. Man, I got an Elephant game. We almost saw a Pershing refitted. You know, bloodbath back and forth. I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I'll see you in the next video.